Welcome back from the break. You're still watching Our Parliament, and I'm your host, Iguma Gabriel. Today, we're discussing the Anti-Pornography Act, an act that has been called the miniskirt law. And the two MPs that we have here today say that act says nothing about miniskirts. Let's continue this debate. Do we have any question from our audience?
I'd like to ask the minister, in your law, did you define how to measure the sexual excitement? How can a person, maybe if I'm maybe sexually harassed, maybe actually excited, can I go to the police and say, this girl has just excited me right now? The police.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
I feel dumbfounded. Fine. This law does not give parameters or yardsticks of sentiments, emotions of persons and individuals. But it protects the general, normal condition of every human being. But when you see fire, you know it will be hot. Right? So there are categories there. When they are in contact with other persons, certain reactions take place in the body, and it works out. So it's not the law who's going to determine who is going to react. In fact, this afternoon I was discussing with my sister here, and she was saying, but why are you men so unnecessarily taken up? In Europe, you see people walking scantily dressed, and nobody is irritated. It's just life is normal. But for you, you see somebody in a certain attire, you're taken up, and that's when you jump in. I say exactly that is the problem, because you don't know the measure of control of the other person.
So, Honorable Minister, the problem seems to be... Okay, complete your point.
Yeah, I'm saying that it is not going to be a justification for anybody to see another person and jump in. That, first of all, is a manifestation of your own poor self-control. All right? Two, you don't have the audacity and the liberty to aggress. If your emotions are uncontrollable, fight your war on yourself. leave the others on their own. That's why I strongly condemn my brothers if they are the ones. But I'm told even if fellow sisters did strip their sisters in public because they saw the way she was dressed was not manifesting the dignity of the Ugandan woman. And they said, please, why do you malign us? Why do you destroy our image? We are beautiful and lovable. But now when you do like this, you make us look like a laughing stock, an object of entertainment, which we don't like. So I have a position very clear that, first of all, no one has the right to apply this law and therefore become both the investigator, the adjudicator, and all. What we're saying is, you see something that is sounding like not improper conduct of a person, report to the law enforcement entities, who are the police. It is the police who will apprehend this person, and until a certain moment, this person is called suspect. Until this person goes to courts of law, it's only courts of law who will determine the guilt or the innocence of the person. And therefore, a verdict is passed on this person to carry a burden of how many currency points or how many years of imprisonment. But not you, as a Munaichi, Ugandan, see a lady there, go and strip. You have already actually judged the case and made this person guilty and given her a punishment of walking naked in public.
Okay.
This is not acceptable.
Honorable Mariam, when this law was being debated, in fact, when Father Lokodo tabled this law, it wasn't only the members of the public that called it the miniskirt law. Even MPs called it the miniskirt law. How come now you're running away from what you initially called the miniskirt law yourself?
I don't think that we called it a miniskirt law, implying that it's a miniskirt law.
Okay, you said it means what?
It was a word like you had when we were debating the marriage and divorce law. In the public, they called it a mad law. And we just refer to what the public say. We say, this law now has been reduced to mean the mad bill. But it's not the mad bill. We were just bringing in those arguments the public were giving, but not that we called it a miniskirt law, because as legislators we know the title of the bill and we cannot change it. When the bill is tabled in Parliament, the title cannot change unless the minister has gone through the procedures of changing the title of the bill. So we did not call it a miniskirt law, implying that that's how we understood it. No. Okay. It was because we wanted to reflect the views of the people, the arguments they had about this law, and our cry to the minister to come out clearly and explain and define to people what this law is all about, something he has agreed to do sensitization, to disseminate this law to even in local media so that people can understand what this law is all about. Okay. But on the question of excitement and what he asked, yes. You can be excited even in your bedroom. Nobody's going to manage that. But what I'm meaning here, just imagine we're in this room, it's a public place, and people are, the funny dance, the Chisimansulo. That is prohibited under this law. And when the police comes in and investigates and finds people are doing Chimansulo, they'll face the law. So this is what we're talking about. In your bedroom, nobody's going to come in your bedroom unless it is a child. For a child, they will enforce. Because that is enforceable. Because it's a minor. But if you are adults, whatever you do in your bedroom, nobody's going to mind. But if it's in public and you're doing erotic behaviors and all this, the law will catch up with you.
Okay, let's go to another question. Yes.
Is this law in any way related to rape as a case, as a crime? As far as I know, there have been rampant criminal cases reported. Do you think it's going to reduce this?
The crime of rape is detached from this bill. In other words, we don't want to have a consequential flow from the anti-pornography to rape, because most of the time, pornography is willed. Now, it is said that there are persons, especially of the male gender, who have got an extra X in their chromosome. All right? And these are normally people who are violent, who are rapists, who are very aggressive, name it all, because they've got an extra gene. We fear that such people could be around. And when this lady goes around in this miniskirt, giving the impression to this person that those are the things he's looking for, I'm sure it will become provocative. It will be an inducement. That's why we have said, and we said it in the preparation to the bill, that one of the situations that may be corrected by this bill, especially if there is decency in dressing, will be rape. There will be rape for other reasons, but at least we shall reduce rape because of seeing human scantily dressed.
What this sounds like is you actually want to limit, or you want to put limits on the way people dress, but without necessarily saying it in the law. Because from your explanation, you actually are banning people from wearing miniskirts.
Now, again, you are pushing me to a corner which I don't want to go. All right? We have said that the point which is at the center of this bill is decency. Now, tell me how you can be decent if you don't dress in a certain way.
Okay,
right?
Who decides what is decent?
So, if you dress, come on, this is a general accepted
would like to hear from you, Honorable
position.
Minister. Yes.
Look here, one can be putting on a porous, for example, that lady, she's putting on a free
yes.
blouse.
Yes.
Now, supposing that particular format was down her waist, what would you expect? Up there is normal and acceptable. But suppose it was lower than that, what would be revealing? What would it?
Someone says fresh air.
No, you would be revealing fresh air. You would be getting fresh air, but at the same time disturbing the optical
Of somebody else that's viewing.
internet of somebody else.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
All right.
I mean, we have said that let your dressing be decent, and we have been gone to the extent, at least in the former nature of the bill, that there are certain parts which are recognized by all, practically everywhere, that they are really erotic in effect. When one sees it, gets provoked. These are the breasts, these are the buttocks, these are the genitalia, and closest to the thighs. All right? So we say if you do this, you are not doing any good to yourself. And
Was
also
that,
to the
was that
onlooker.
maintained in the final act that was passed by Parliament? That definition that you've given? Breasts, genitalia, buttocks.
Yes.
It was correct.
All right.